Hey, yo, who's in the house? Dyze in your house. And we are back here live with a live stream of a brand new episode of Dyze in your house. And I'm also back with the ticker scrolling along the bottom, which is to help me pay for lunch and bus fare and stuff like that. Let me set the scene for you. America is being taken over by Nazis. That's happening. That was what people, allegedly voted for. So we've got several things going on. Kristi Noem wants immigrants to compete in a reality show for citizenship. We have the, person occupying 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue tweeting about Taylor Swift, and also Bruce Springsteen saying, basically daring Bruce Springsteen to say bad stuff about him when he gets to America. Spoiler, he will. It's Bruce Springsteen. He doesn't give a fuck. But seriously, like, the systemic breakdown. Like, for instance, I'm glad my mom doesn't watch the podcast, right? But let me share this shit. So I never go live, right? So this is my phone. Well, I'm gonna start going live, and this is public and all that stuff. But I need to let people know I'm doing this, because then they'll watch. It is a busy sports night in New York, and I'm going to get into that in 1 second. My videos. I can't share this. But anyway, my last video, Are You Speaking Up? And I spoke about, are we really using our voice in the right way to push back against this fascist regime? You know what I'm saying? And, I spoke about how I don't give my money to anything that's Republican. And that's what I can do as a person. And that's what you could do as a person. As a citizen. That's what we can do. Besides, the protests, which peaceful protest, we will peacefully protest. We will make our voices heard. We will use our platforms, whether it's someone like me with nobody watching, or if it's somebody, that has a lot of people watching. They'll be able to use their platform in the right way. I spoke about that last week, and you can go back to that podcast and listen. I'm going to try to share this from here. Sorry, I'm still getting the hang of this. Threads. Yo. Okay. Let me set the scene for you in my house. I'm off today. Today has been a very stressful day in the world of sports. Now, when I say a stressful sports day, I mean like Knicks Game 6, trying to close out the Celtics. I mean Yankees Subway Series with the Mets, Juan Soto return to the Bronx. But my stress in that is, let's call it not real, because it's sports stress. You know what I mean? So that's what I could say. So, like, how there's a work-life balance? Well, I'm trying to do that with my brain with politics, right? So as much as I use my platform for politics, I do scroll sometimes and read news about, like, sports and shit, just to get my brain to stop thinking about things that, you have to separate it. I'm sure, you still buy concert tickets and shit. You know what I mean? I'll probably go see Bruce Springsteen next time he plays, just to see what if they drag him off stage like Lenny Bruce in the 50s or whatever the fuck that was. But I have been a jinx for the Knicks when I have watched the game from the beginning. The Knicks have done very well when I have been on the way home from work, listening to it on the radio, and then I get home like for the end, and that's been good. So, I watched the entirety of Yankees Mets. Yankees beat the Mets. Shout outs to that. And I have switched over to the Knicks game. Game 6. Knicks up 3-2 in the series on the Celtics. It is 107-74. Knicks with just over 6 minutes to go in the game. Mikal Bridges just hit a 3. It is 110-74. The Knicks are up on the Celtics by 36 points with 5 minutes and change to go in this game. This is how long I waited till I felt confident enough to go live. And I gotta be honest, I will be with you for the remainder of this game. If you're watching the Knicks game, I'm watching it too. So I'm gonna comment on it. If you're on 7th Avenue, be careful out there, but I'm telling you, have all of the time. The Knicks are looking to advance to their first Eastern Conference Finals since the 99-2000 season, where I believe they faced the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers are waiting for the winner of this series. The Celtics were the heavy favorite going in. This series going in was a bigger upset in terms of sports books than the Giants beating the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl that year. Either way, I am very gleeful that the Celtics keep missing shots. Karl Anthony Towns with a rebound gets it to McBride coming up court. You know, I always wanted to do play-by-play. Anyway, so this is my work-life balance. I had a sports night. But I saw one of my buddies, and he gave me a ride when I was, I went to the bank. Long story. But, and he's like, I like Trump. Why don't you like Trump? And I don't know. I shouldn't have went economy, but I did. And I was like, look at the fucking stock market. He's like, stock market's up 300 points today. I'm like, that's today. I'm talking about my 401k. And then I said, all right, let me tell you about it like this. I said, when I was growing up and my Aunt Brunya had the numbers on her arm and like my family would tell me horror stories about, that shit and talk about it like, how everybody used to say like never again, but now they use it for other things. Never forget. Or never forget, never again. They used to use that for the Holocaust. It was never something set in stone that this will not happen again. And these are the signs to look for. And if you want to look at the signs to look for, just look at a list of everything Trump's done since January 20th. That's all I'm saying. So, like, as somebody of Holocaust heritage, yeah, shit's real. This shit's scary. This is the shit we were told about, and now we're living it. You see ICE agents disappearing people. I know, I said it last week, but that can't be real life. There needs to be due process. If you want to say, Jay, I want to deport every immigrant in this country who is here illegally. If you add, I want them to go to court and be deported that way, that's a little less racist. I mean, but like, that's the process. There needs to be a due process. You can't just snatch up people, send them on a plane. Oh shit, it was the wrong person. Well, fuck it, we're not going to get them back. That's not how this shit works. And if you sit back idly and don't mention it and don't post about it, I saw a great fucking video that I'm going to, Reels that I'll share in a second. I'm going to share some things. Not share some things, but read some things. 3 minutes to go. Precious Achiuwa is in the game. That's how you know the Knicks have this thing in the bag. 112-80. The Knicks are up 32 points on the defending world champion Boston Celtics. 7th Avenue is going to be crazy in about 5 minutes. If it's not crazy right now, they're going to burn down 7th Avenue. I am so glad I work downtown. Like, moments like this, I'm very happy I work downtown. There needs to be you can't just disappear people. That's, Hitler vibes. If you want, America is built on racism. It is, systemically. It's baked into the pie, right? So, theoretically, if you want to be racist, you just have to go through the courts in order to be racist. But usually you go through enough courts and you'll find someone to let you be racist. That's why we have a bunch of Confederate monuments still up. Like, there are still Confederate monuments that people want taken down that are still up. Because America is systemically racist. And systemic racism means that if you just bring your racism to court, they'll probably let you do it. Two minutes to go till the Knicks go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Yankees won. The Yankees beat the Mets. Work-life balance. Work-life balance. I have work tomorrow. But that's another thing. I knew I was going to be super overstimulated because of this and because the coffee, and it's a bigger cup because I broke the lid on my other cup by accident. So this cup is by default bigger. I tried to add more ice. That didn't work out. I drank a lot of coffee. I'm excited that both my sports teams, one of them has won and one of them looks like they're going to win. The Garden is about to go crazy. I will probably turn the volume on for that. But I saw something on Reels earlier, and I got to find her name because she is fucking funny. She's a comedian, and I shared the post. Allison... No, I'm sorry. Okay. Alyssa. So it's Alyssa on the Earth. A-L-I-S-A on the Earth. All one word. And let's see if this plays.
That you're not willing to look at. Both sides are the same, man. It's all corrupt. That's just another way of checking out. That kind of blanket statement doesn't make you deep. It just shows that you haven't done the work to understand the nuance.
And I'm not sure if that was heard. But again, Alyssa on the Earth. Follow her on Instagram because she has some funny shit that is truthful. And that's a thing that is needed for Democrats to get elected, is that messaging needs to be better. And by better, I mean more digestible, like somebody sees it on Reels, laughs, knows what's going on, has it explained to them, thoroughly, and that's how it goes. So the wellness community, all right? Think about the wellness community, right? People that are into spirituality and crystals and shit like that. And I say that as somebody with a candle lit and air diffuser, water diffuser thing that's got the mist coming out that has eucalyptus and orange essential oils in it. So, trust me when I tell you, I'm not anti-wellness or anti-aromatherapy and different ways to feel good. You know what I'm saying? But people who, those people are usually non-political, apolitical people. And to say a statement like both sides are the same, correct. It doesn't make you deep. It just means you've checked out from society. It means you're not paying attention enough and you don't see the differences because you don't care enough about other people. And that's the whole thing. We got less than 30 seconds left in this game. I don't believe this shit. Good call on me not watching the game. I guess I'm not watching Knicks playoff games for the rest of the fucking year. Garden going crazy. They're going to burn down 7th Avenue. This shit is over. Got Larry Johnson, John Starks. Got Smiley, Jaylen Brown over here. It's okay. It's all right. Tom Thibodeau, class act. Everyone's shaking hands here. This is the first time the Knicks have advanced to their first Eastern Conference Finals since the year 2000. There's Walt Clyde Frazier. Oh, man. I saw Tracy Morgan on Celebrity Roll. You know, Ben Stiller's there. There's 7th Avenue, baby. Let's go. Don't burn it down, but party. Enjoy yourselves. We need everybody to have some fun tonight. We haven't been here, that's why. Shout-outs to Mike Breen getting to call this game. Shout-outs to that. Yeah, so, again, work-life balance. Super overstimulated. But wellness community people, you know, and people in general that say things like both sides are the same. You're just not doing the work to understand the nuance. And that's a fact. Because both sides are not the same. Just because I vote for somebody that doesn't get every single thing I've ever wanted done does not mean that they're better off being a Republican. Like, I'm better off having a Republican represent me. Example. And I don't want to do this, right? And I'm not saying I want this to happen. But Cuomo has a lot of money behind him in the mayor race. If he was to somehow finagle his way into that, that's not the end of my life. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we need to, because end of the day, if he's the guy going after the ranked choice primary, I think, after the ranked choice, if he's the one that makes it out and he's going up against a Republican, that Republican is not going to be normal. That Republican is going to be a nutbag, okay? And that Republican is going to need to be defeated. So we're going to need to not be little bitches, not sit out, and fucking do what we got to do. But the Zorhan guy, I like that guy. I like people with who are aligned with Democrats. I only support people who are aligned with my core values. That is in business, that is in life, that is friends, that is, you know, old friends who don't talk to me anymore. That's people that, you know, whatever, they don't care that I unfollowed them on Instagram, but like that's, you know, people random who if I see you on the bus watching like the Joe Rogan podcast, I'm automatically in my brain imagining what a loser you are, thinking about your loser fucking life, and thinking about how you're going home to your mom's basement to fucking do nothing, while I go home to my own apartment that I pay for and fucking enjoy my life. How about that? So sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired. I downloaded Threads on my other phone because I was getting killed for something today. What was it? What did I do? What did somebody post? Let me see. Someone said, can someone help me understand I love this. Can someone help me understand why the Democrats are trying to unseat David Hogg and Malcolm Kenyatta? What is the issue? And that's the DNC. David Hogg is one of the vice chairs of the DNC or something like that. And he's saying things like, we need to primary Democrats that aren't getting the job done. Okay? Like, it's not the end of the world for me. But so I responded and I said, it seems like people don't grasp that democracy is ending right before our eyes, and they all want to be political scientists instead of voting for fucking Democrats. And that's a fact. Everybody wants to poli-sci this shit. Meanwhile, I just read a story that they're going to move Palestinians to Libya. But I thought, why is it okay when Trump does it? Why do people laugh it off? People were showing up to every Kamala Harris event to show their displeasure. And she repeatedly said, I am on the side of ceasefire, both sides, less death. Trump is like, we're going to get U.S. troops on the ground to make sure that Israel's protected. Listen, I'm more worried about what's going on in America. But at the same time, why don't people give that same energy there? Because they're fucking hypocrites, that's why. Because they like the fucking memes. Because they don't understand. They don't grasp how important democracy is. And once it's gone, and once that Constitution means nothing anymore, and those Bill of Rights means nothing anymore, then you don't have anything. You're not just going to be able to start a new country. We don't have smart enough people to do that. People are too busy on their fucking phones replying to me on fucking threads. What the fuck? Damn it. Why did I say damn it so loud? It wasn't like the end of the world. Oh, God. That wasn't good. Admittedly, not good. But the fact remains. Stop being a fucking political scientist. Vote for the people that aren't Nazis. End of the day. If we get a chance to vote again. Anyway, again, the scroll on the bottom is my Cash App. It is also my Patreon. You can go to either of those places and you can become a member on Patreon. And if you become a member, you get personalized artwork. You get input on the podcast. I'll shout you out. If you got a business, I'll advertise it. Whatever you need me to do. That's cool. The Cash App, Dyze in your house. I have that over there in case you want to, say, hey, this guy's funny. Here's $1. Also, I need to get to 500 YouTube followers, subscribers, before I can monetize. If I'm even able to monetize this channel, because if you look back at my videos, I have a lot of concert videos on here, and I'm not sure how monetization works, but I'm not making money off those videos. So that's a thing. So tell your friends, subscribe to my fucking YouTube. I got 333 or something. That's not even that far away. But we're going to build. We're going to continue to build the studio in the living room. We got a table now, looking into computers, all that stuff. But meanwhile, I'm still here giving you witty, hilarious content, but also trying to let you know that shit is serious and we need to pay attention. If there's a march going on near you, fucking get involved in it. If there's a protest going on, get involved in it. Get involved in community. Be in a community of people who are aligned with your values. Because we don't have to engage with assholes. Let incels incel. And we could join forces and make sure that we get Democrats elected. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that saves democracy. All right. I'm out. Knicks win. Yankees win. New York is up. You know the vibes. Shout outs to that. All right. Late.